Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. This is going to be your go-to hangout for creating wellness in all areas of your life, from a healthy body to a healthy mind, with all of these mini trainings that I will be presenting to you every single Wednesday. I'm just so happy that you're here, and I'm ready to get started on today's topic. So, the good news is you guys have answered the polls, so I know exactly what you need because you let me know. So thank you for those of you who weighed in on the poll. So what we're going to talk about today is habits. Now, habits is a really big, broad topic, but today we're going to narrowly focus it in on what happens when we've broken the new habit, we've taken a break from that habit, and we can't find our groove. So today's topic is how to get your groove back after you were on a break. So this can go to maybe your healthy habits with regard to food. Maybe you were on a roll. Maybe you were making those healthy foods and you were prepping, and then something happened and you went on vacation. Or maybe you decided that you wanted to clean your closet and you organized that closet and your new habit was sticking, and then something happened to pull you away from that new habit. And now you're wondering, what happened? Why can't these new habits stick? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. So thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who are just joining me live, I am Sherri Starr. I am your life, health, and happiness coach. And I am here on Wellness Wednesday every single week at noon Pacific Standard Time. And we are going to do these mini trainings every week because a thriving life doesn't happen by accident, right? It's a compilation of the thoughts that we think and the actions that we take and the beliefs we hold about what's possible in our lives. So today we're going to start at habits because this is where I think it all begins. We've identified something that we really want in our life, but for some reason we can't continue this behavior, whatever it is. So if you're out there, I would really love for you guys to give me some kind of sign that you're hearing me, and I'm just going to check really quickly. Okay, so it looks like we're up and rolling. And so what I really prefer is that you guys can write me some comments so that way we can have this conversation. And if you want to get involved in the polls in the future, what I would say is go over to my private group and request to be into the group. It's called Sherri Starr Wellness Warriors. And this is just for the ladies. I love you guys too. And you could definitely get in on these free trainings every Wednesday. But the private group is going to be happening and in Sherri Starr Wellness Warriors private group. And what we're going to be doing in there is keeping this conversation going. So that way, every time that we have one of these new live trainings, we can talk together and have accountability together and support each other and inspire each other. So that's what we're doing there. So if you want to get in on that, go ahead and go over to search for Sherri Starr Wellness Warriors, and I will also put a link in here after this is done. Okay, so back to this. So we are here today to talk about habits, and we're talking about how do you make them stick, and especially after you've had a break. So this came up for me recently when I went on vacation, and I have all the tools that I use for my coaching clients, and I actually use them for myself. So what I do is go on vacation. I have a set of rules that I have, a system in place for while I'm on vacation, what kinds of things I'll be doing, whether I will be sticking to the goals that I've set, or maybe I'll have a little bit of freedom in those rules during the vacation. But then when I come back, I know now that I can trust myself to get right back into those healthy routines that I've set up for myself because I have a system. And so the reason why we need systems is because it can really ease some of that judgment and some of the pain that we feel when we fall off of those habits. And we don't have to worry while we're having that break. You know, maybe you were doing a yoga class every single week for years or months, and then somehow something stopped and now you're not able to do that for whatever reason. Maybe you got an injury, maybe something happened, and so you know that that's what you want to do, but for whatever reason you're just not doing it. So because of that, we can get into this position where we're feeling like, gosh, is it my willpower? Is it that I don't have motivation? What's wrong with me? But instead of criticizing yourself and beating yourself up, I have some ideas on things that we can do in order to get you right back on track. Instead of doing it the typical way of being on track because you're making yourself and you're forcing yourself and you're willing yourself with your willpower and your white knuckling, we're going to have none of that. So when I talk about wellness, what I'm really talking about is releasing that struggle and really getting into ease and having a life of peace and joy. And that's what a thriving life is. When we can trust ourselves that we're going to be doing these things that will equate to a thriving life. So that's what I like to do, and that's what I'm going to help you guys learn today. So today we're going to talk about getting your groove back. Just 3 simple steps to get your groove back after you've had a break. And in case you just are joining me, my name is Sherri Starr, and I'm a life, health, and happiness coach. And it's my mission to help you, to guide and empower you to live in a body that you love and live a life that lights you up. So what we're going to do is get into it right now. So if you can hear me loud and clear, go ahead and send a little signal that you hear me. And otherwise, I'm going to just get to it. So this is the deal. When you come back from a break, say for whatever reason you wanted to quit smoking and you did it for a while, but then somehow you reverted back to your old behaviors. This is normal, you guys. This is normal because when it comes to habits, what I know is that our minds are wired for status quo. And this is why I really don't want you to beat up on yourself when you revert to old behaviors, because our minds have this survival mechanism that keeps us safe. And that's why it can be so challenging to get into a new habit. And when we're in a new habit, our signals in our mind are telling us, this is scary, this is outside of our comfort zone. And so everything in us is trying to get us back to that status quo. And this is why it can be challenging when you take a break from the new habit, because we've been doing the other habit for so long. And because of that, we find ourselves reverting back to our old behaviors. So today, I really want to shift that for you. And first, I want to say hi to some people that are on the line. I can see Lydia and Brenda. Hello, hello. And if you guys can hear me loud and clear, go ahead and send me a little heart or a thumbs up or a wow face, something that I can tell that you're hearing me. And also, I just have been talking about habits, and I'm wondering from both of you, what is it that you're feeling that there's a habit in your life that maybe you used to have really solid, and for some reason, you kind of let it slip away? And you know that it's something that you really want. It's something that makes your life better, but for whatever reason, you stopped engaging in it. And if you have that already in your mind, maybe you can write it in the comment section so I can get an idea of what's coming up for you so that I can help you better too. And also so you can see each other and know that you're not alone. I mean, this is totally normal. Like I explained a few moments ago, I don't know if you were already there. So Lydia says, exercise, yes. And Holly, thank you for the heart. I heart you back. And Brenda, having quiet time each morning. Yes, that's a big one, right? So when you're engaging in that every morning and you make it a priority, you know it feels so good and you know that's what you need. But then there's this thing that happens and we fall out of this new habit. And this is why you guys let me know that this is what you guys really needed, was lasting change. And so since I can't talk about habits all day with you guys, this could take months. In fact, I do this with my coaching clients in my Eat, Play, Thrive sessions. We really deconstruct habits. But today I'm going to narrowly focus on the topic of what to do when you've found that you've fallen off this path towards your goal and you're starting to revert back to your old behaviors. So if this is resonating with you guys, it looks like it is. So yes, Lydia says daily exercise, actually. And that's a really good point, Lydia, because a lot of times with new habits, we do them occasionally, and that doesn't ever really equate to a lasting change because we really need to do something daily. It's best if we do something daily, even if it's just 5 minutes of that exercise. That way it keeps it going and it becomes just who you are, what you do, and this is the new status quo. So in case you missed it earlier, we're talking about habits, and we're talking about that our mind is wired for status quo, and it's kind of like a defense mechanism, a survival mechanism in our minds that tries to keep us safe. And so when we know that, it's okay to feel that urge to fall off of the new habit. It's just the survival mechanism. So there's nothing going wrong there. In fact, it's going right. But if we do want to continue on that path, what we have to do is have a system so that we can be aware of when that's happening and then use a few tools to shift us in the direction of the continuing path to the change that we're wanting. So if you guys are loving this and you want to hear the 3 tips that I have for you, go ahead and write something in the comment section or give me a thumbs up or something so I know you're with me. All right, awesome. So here it is, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get to it. So if you have a journal or a notepad, thank you for the hearts. This is so fun to be with you guys. I love this. So if you have a journal or a notebook and a pen or a pencil, go ahead and grab that now, because I really want you to apply this to your life today. You know, life is right now, you guys. You are here, which tells me that you care about the quality of your life. And that's what excites me. That's what lights me up, is to help you guys get the tools that you need to live that life. So get your journals ready. We're going to get right into it. So this is going to be the 3 little steps that you can start to get your groove back. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about, step number 1, is I want you to take a deep breath. So go ahead and do this with me right now, if you can. Just go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath. And exhale all the way out. And with this deep breath, I just want you to go ahead and send yourself a little bit of love and some compassion. Because the truth is that everything is okay. Everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be right here, right now. And I want you to send that compassion to yourself, to remind yourself that whatever it was that came up into your life that pulled you away from the goal that you had, that it's okay and that you understand. Okay, so you get into this place of acknowledging that it's okay. And this thing happened, I can't change that, but here I am right now. Let's check in with our body. So the question that I want you to ask yourself in this first step, once you're settled down and you're connected back to yourself, ask yourself, what do I really want? What do I really want? Not what does someone else want for me, or what is it that I think I should want, but what do I want? And the distinction that I'm making here, and the reason why I'm asking you to ask this question of yourself, is because if we start a change with discontentment and frustration and disgust, right? Which is where we usually are when we start a change. We just can't even handle it any longer, not one more moment. We don't fit into our clothes. We don't like what we see in the mirror. We can't stand this job any longer, this relationship, and it's just making us crazy. We have to quit. When we start a change from that position, it's not as effective because we're starting from the pain point. And that pain diminishes once we make a little bit of progress. And maybe you've noticed this when it comes to weight loss. This is an easy one to give an example on, so I'm going to go there. But say, for instance, you wanted to lose 30 pounds. And you started this change because you were just disgusted. You couldn't stand it. You didn't like the way you looked in your clothes. And you felt like it's something I really, really want to change because of those reasons. But then you lose maybe 5 pounds. And that pain point has diminished, right? So you're not as disgusted and you're not as frustrated and mad at yourself. And so then you might just kind of slip off of the path toward the goal, because the goal was started from a place of lack, from a place of not enough. And so that's the distinction I'm trying to make. Instead, if we can start from a place of inspiration. So maybe if you check in with yourself, give yourself that compassion, recognizing you are doing so much in your life. I mean, give yourself a break. You guys are doing so much, especially us women. You know, we take on a lot, especially those of you with kids. You take on so much. So to give yourself that break and settle in and take a deep breath and ask yourself, what do I really want? That starts your change from a place of inspiration. What would really make a big positive impact in my life and why? You know, if you start pondering that as opposed to how broken you are and how frustrated you are, can you feel the difference? If you guys can feel the difference of what this little distinction might do for you, go ahead and give me some kind of signal that you're with me on this. But if you can feel that difference, so starting with inspiration. Okay, so if you guys have closed your eyes and asked yourself that question, oh good, you guys are feeling this, then if you have any sense of what your inner wisdom is telling you, what is it that you truly want, then we can go to step number 2. And step number 2 is to make a plan, to pick a date and put it on your calendar, whatever it is. So what I mean by this is the important things in our life are going to happen when we prioritize them as important. And the things that are important generally go on our calendar, right? So from my experience, what I've been really needing to get back into, because, you know, even though I'm a coach, I have the same struggles as you guys. It's just that I have a bunch of tools that I can go to. And that's the difference. So that's what I'm trying to help you guys with. But so I catch myself falling off of my healthy habits as well. And so one of the things that I've noticed for me is that now that I've got a different morning routine in the morning, you know, I do my trampoline, I jog with my dog, I do my meditation and my gratitude and all that. I do that, but that means that I don't have the time in the mornings anymore for my yoga or for the gym. And so for the last couple months, I've just been kind of flaking on that because my priority was my morning routine. I really love to set my intentions and get my day set for the morning. So I had to get creative and think about, what do I really want? You know, first checking and making sure that I actually want to do yoga. The answer was yes, I absolutely love my yoga. So then why wasn't I doing it? And it can be so simple as just I hadn't put it into my schedule. So I went ahead and did that. So now every day at 4 o'clock, my alarm goes off. And when that goes off, I'm either going to go to the gym or I'm going to do some yoga at home, because I can't leave at that moment because I got work to do and I don't want to take out hours. I just want to do something at home. So this is what I've committed to for myself. So once you hear from your inner guidance that tells you what is the thing that you really want, then you need to make a plan, pick a date that you're going to start, whether it's today or tomorrow or next week or whenever. Pick a date and make it non-negotiable and put it in your calendar. Okay, you guys ready for that? So after this, I don't know if you heard me earlier, we're going to continue this conversation. At the end, we're going to go into the private group that I've created for you guys so that we can hold each other accountable for these new things that we're committing to. Okay, so number 3, we're going to get to the third thing. So now you've asked yourself what you want, you've made your plan, and you put it in your calendar, right? So then the third most important thing is that you need to have a buddy or multiple buddies, but you need to have accountability. And the reason why I think this is such an important factor, I just see it with my clients so often. And this is why I have group coaching courses, because I know that when we all are doing this together, there's less likelihood that we're going to flake. Right? So it's easy for us to flake on ourselves. We have all those excuses that come up. You know, you guys can probably relate. It's too early. It's too cold outside. I don't really want to. It feels good in my bed. You know, even with those things that we know we want, we find ourselves making excuses. But when we have a buddy system and it's a person that loves us, but also will hold us accountable and not let us get away with those excuses, then that's where the success really happens. And so I would really encourage you, challenge you to find a person, and they don't even have to have the same goal, but whatever it is, just ask them if they will keep you accountable. And I did this with my girlfriends from yoga recently. Like I said, I've been wanting to get back into yoga, and I took a long break because I got my shoulder surgery, and then my back was doing some funky things. And I had a lot of reasons, but the truth is I really love my yoga, and I love the community, and I love where I go do yoga, which is Black Sheep Yoga Studio in Oceanside. So I'm giving you a little shout out there. You guys please come. It's just magical. But anyway, the reason why I use the buddy system is because I know myself, and I know that this is something I need. I will flake on myself. And not everybody needs the buddy system, but I found that about 90% of my clients are like me and they need that. So I asked a couple of my girlfriends, Elise and Sherri, if they will hold me accountable. And so just knowing that they're looking for me at yoga and they're texting me, wanting me to be there, is just that little bit of extra oomph that gets me to commit to myself and my goal. So I'm hoping that you guys can apply those 3 steps and get that into your life right away. And then if you want, come over to our private group as soon as you can, and we can talk more about this. I want to hear your guys' insights and maybe what's something that you committed to yourself for today. And then I want to give you 3 little things for the future, because I've got some stuff coming up in case you haven't heard about it. More ways to get involved and make your life more thriving. So Monday, we're going to be starting a sugar breakup challenge, and this is free. We're going to be doing a 5-day sugar breakup. And it's one of those things that I know a lot of us have considered breaking up with sugar, but sometimes we just don't know where to start or what to do, or we just kind of feel like it's going to be awful because we love our sugar so much. Yes, you guys can relate to that. Okay, good. So I am going to have that for you. So if you're interested in that, go to my website, sherristarwellness.com. And I will also post a link to that later in the replay. But go to sherristarwellness.com, and on the very first page, the home page, there's a way to sign up for that free challenge. And so just like I said with the buddy system, it's going to have the group environment. It's just for women. We're going to definitely get sugar kicked to the curb in 5 days. So I know you guys can do this. So hopefully you're excited about that. And then the week after that, I think, or the week after, it's going to be April 26th. We are starting our spring 5-day detox. And so some of you have done my winter detox. We're going to have all new recipes, and it's going to be awesome. 5 days of support with each other, of live calls where you guys will actually be able to join in the live call if you want to. And we're going to do that on April 26th. So check that out on my website as well. And then lastly, my most exciting thing that I love so much, and some of you have been in my group before, but this is my Eat, Play, Thrive sessions. It's that 3-month group coaching course for women where we really take those steps together for our wellness, not just in our body, but we infuse playfulness into our everyday. We learn all about habits and we deconstruct those, and we go into the deep work that needs to be done in order for us to have lasting change for that thriving life that we really want to live. So if you're interested in any of that, please check that out. I would love to see you in my groups. But for now, go ahead and do your 3 steps next time you're ready to get back into your healthy groove. And I will talk to you next Wednesday right here, same place, same time. Thanks so much. Bye.